before we get into this, if you notice something off with Orbot and Infinite's voice, as well as other stuff in the video midway through, it has something to do with my editing software. I'm still trying to figure out what's going on. I'll probably be changing editing software soon. So if there's something wrong, it's the editing software. I want to apologize for that, guys, as I've been working really hard on this for a couple months now, guys, and I do hope you still all enjoy it. Without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right into the video. Yo, what is going on, you guys? Welcome back to another What If video. In today's What If video, we are doing the longer-awaited part 10 of What If Sonic and Miraculous were in the same universe. And before we go ahead and get to this, guys, I just want to say that for the narration part of this video, I will be using AI. The characters won't be voiced by AI, they'll be voiced regularly. However, for the narration part of this video, it'll be voiced by AI, not me, simply because a lot of stuff has happened in December for me, and I went on vacation in late December, early January, so I didn't have that much time to record narration, so I will be trying out AI, and if you guys like it, comment down below if you like it, if you want to see future parts, but if you don't like it, then I will be using it for future what-ifs. I'm just trying it out here to see how it is. Before we go ahead and get to this, make sure you guys go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment down below if you're excited for part 10, and without further ado, let's go ahead and finally dive into part 10.
We open up on a sunny day as we see Sonic the Hedgehog running around the outskirts of Paris, thinking to himself what's been going on these past few months, with the most notable things being both Marinette and Adrien growing closer in their civilian lives, and both Eggman and Monarch laying low for a while now. Sonic would end up contemplating this to himself, with him questioning to himself,
what are they planning?
However, before Sonic can put any more thought into it, he all of a sudden hears an explosion catching his attention. He then hears more explosions and the sound of what seems like people screaming. Sonic takes off trying to get back into the city as fast as he can, and as he's running, he gets contacted by both Tails and Ladybug.
Sonic, come in. Tails, what's going on, little buddy? We got a problem. Eggman and Monarch has reinforced badniks and we're being overrun. We need you here now. Hang on, you two. I'm on my way.
Sonic makes it into the city. However, as he makes his way further into the city, he sees more and more of it destroyed and overtaken by both Eggman and Monarch's forces, but Sonic manages to push his way through and make his way further through the city. Meanwhile, we see Tails, Ladybug, Cat Noir, Rena Rouge, and Viperon all evacuating civilians while holding off the badniks. Although they're managing to hold their ground, more and more keep coming, and the group begins to get overwhelmed and backed into a corner. Both Eggman and Monarch laugh as the group is backed into a corner, with Eggman taunting them, with him asking,
"Aw, what's the matter? Too scared and weak to fight without Sonic."
However, as the robots close in on the group and the civilians, Sonic rushes in and boosts through them all.
They won't have to. Sonic, is everyone okay? We are, thanks to you. Cutting it kind of close, though.
Yeah, that's pretty much how I roll.
Sonic turns his attention back to both Eggman and Monarch and tells the duo,
Okay, Egghead and Loser Moth, let's finish this. Oh, but it will be your finish, Sonic. Behold, the power of our ultimate masterpiece.
Sonic goes in to attack the evil duo, only to be hit back by both Shadow and Hoaxer, shocking the blue hedgehog as he asks Shadow,
Shadow, it's you? You're siding with both Eggman and Monarch?
Zavok, Metal Sonic, Chaos, Miracle Queen, and Ikari goes and reveal themselves as well, shocking the blue hedgehog as he said.
So, not only do you have Shadow, Zavok, Chaos, and Metal Sonic, but you also still have 3 people akumatized, huh, Egghead and Loser Moth?
Miracle Queen, Hoaxer, and Ikari begin to laugh, much to the hedgehog's confusion. However, Ladybug quickly realizes why they're laughing and asks,
You willingly got akumatized, didn't you?
Hoaxer turns to Ladybug and says,
Yes, we did. Well, either way, this doesn't make a difference. We'll still stop.
However, Sonic is cut off as Infinite slowly descends before the group making his presence known.
Who's this joker?
Sonic smirks and boosts at him, but Infinite quicksteps and dodges the attack with ease. Sonic's eyes widen in shock and awe, amazed that Infinite is able to dodge him. The rest of the group of heroes and civilians' eyes also widen in shock at how Infinite was easily able to dodge Sonic. Infinite kicks Sonic into the air and throws him into a wall. Sonic falls on the ground as Zavok, Chaos, Shadow, and Metal Sonic help Infinite fight Sonic. The other heroes attempt to jump in, help Sonic, but Hoaxer, Miracle Queen, and Ikari goes and attack the other heroes, preventing them from getting to Sonic. As Sonic is fighting Infinite and his squad, Sonic asks both Shadow and Chaos,
Shadow, Chaos, what's wrong with you guys? Why are you helping Eggman and Monarch?
They don't respond as they continue to fight Sonic. Sonic begins to get overwhelmed by Infinite and his cronies, while the other heroes can't help since they're busy fighting Ikari, Miracle Queen, and Hoaxer. And anytime the other heroes attempt to jump in and help Sonic, Miracle Queen, Ikari, and Hoaxer prevent them. All the while, Eggman and Monarch laugh as everything is going according to their plan. Infinite and his squad continue to attack Sonic. And after a while, as Sonic goes in for a homing attack, Infinite easily dodges and hits Sonic to the ground. Infinite then says to the Hedgehog,
"Yield now, and this will all be over soon. It's pointless to keep fighting either way."
Okay, I don't know who you are, but I'm done playing around.
At that moment, Sonic summons the 7 Chaos Emeralds and transforms into Super Sonic. Super Sonic stares down Infinite and says,
Let's see how tough you are now.
Super Sonic flies over to Infinite and punches him in the face, throwing Infinite back. Super Sonic uses this opportunity to use a homing attack on him, throwing him into a building. Super Sonic then boosts towards him and tries out a new move he's been working on for a while now, that being the Sonic Boom. Shockwaves go flying towards Infinite, throwing him back and onto the ground. Super Sonic smirks, saying,
Not so tough now, huh?
Infinite, however, gets back up unscathed, much to Super Sonic's shock and horror. Infinite uses the Phantom Ruby to make multiple Phantom Cubes and fires them at Super Sonic. Super Sonic attempts to dodge all of them but begins to get overwhelmed. Infinite then uses the opportunity to fire a massive beam of energy at Super Sonic, throwing him flying back. Infinite then throws Super Sonic into a couple of buildings, badly damaging him. Infinite then delivers the final blow to Super Sonic, knocking him down hard and out of his super form. Infinite attempts to grab the Chaos Emeralds, but the Phantom Ruby causes them to float in the air and warp away in a flash of light. Sonic blacks out, laying on the ground, defeated as Tails, Ladybug, Cat Noir, Rena Rouge, Viperion, and the civilians look on in horror as the villains begin to laugh. Tails would scream out,
Sonic! Pitiful. I was told that golden transformation of yours would be more of a challenge. I'm incredibly disappointed.
The villains continue to laugh as Zavok grabs Sonic and throws him over his shoulder.
He just beat Super Sonic. What do we do now?
Infinite locks eyes with the heroes as they shudder in fear.
Simple. I handle you next.
As Eggman and Monarch's forces begin to close in on them, they're all of a sudden protected by a teal light and a white portal.
Get back!
Silver and Bunyix arrive on the scene, shocking the heroes.
Silver! Bunnynix! What are you two doing here? I'll explain later, but right now you need to get all these civilians to safety. She's right, I can't hold them off forever. But Sonic!
Silver's barrier breaks, and both he and Bunyix begin attacking Eggman and Monarch's forces.
Get him out of here, now! Come on, Tails, we have to go!
Tails, crying, would end up screaming for Sonic as Cat Noir pulls Tails away. As Tails is taken away, the scene goes quiet as Eggman and Monarch's forces begin to overrun the city, and all go silent. Tails is taken away from the fight by both Ladybug and Cat Noir, while both Silver and Bunyix do their best to fend off Infinite and the others, but they can't defeat them and they're forced to retreat. Meanwhile, Tails, Ladybug, Cat Noir, Rena Rouge, and Viperion contact Knuckles, Amy, and the rest of the Sonic cast and tell them the tragic news. Knuckles immediately finds a place to hide the Master Emerald, while Amy tells Gemerald to get cream, vanilla, cheese, and chocolate out of the city and find a safe place for them to hide and to guard them with his life. More and more robots start to overrun cities across the world, being led by General Hoaxer, Miracle Queen, Ikari Gozen, and Infinite with the help of Metal Sonic, Shadow, Chaos, and Zavok, as both Eggman and Monarch watch from above, laughing maniacally as more and more people get captured by the Eggman Empire. A year goes by, and at this time both Eggman and Monarch have conquered most of the world. Whole countries are now overrun with badniks and super badniks being monitored by Hoaxer, Miracle Queen, and Ikari Gozen. Most cities and towns are abandoned and in ruin, as most civilians either fled their homes, were captured and put to work in Eggman and Monarch's factories, or perished altogether. Alongside this, Eggman and Monarch would completely destroy Station Square, and in its place would be Eggmoth Land, or Eggman Land 2. With it being both Eggman and Monarch's capital city and main base of operation, with the two of them spreading fear across the whole world. News of Sonic's demise quickly spread across the globe as everyone mourned their fallen hero. Statues, monuments, and murals were made in his honor in the time that Sonic was pronounced dead. Knuckles, Amy, Rouge, Ladybug, Cat Noir, Rena Rouge, Viperion, Sai, Elver, Bunyix. The two saw the future corrupted and distorted by some unknown power, so they traveled back to the past to save the future. And the Chaotix have formed a ragtag resistance team to combat both Eggman and Monarch and bring their reign to. Tails went off on his own, traumatized after losing his best friend and brother and blaming himself for his defeat. Marinette also blames herself for Sonic's defeat, since he's always been there for her as an older brother figure. being there for her when she's at her lowest points, and he's always been there to help her get back up. She also blames herself for her parents and majority of her friends getting captured by Eggman, Monarch, Infinite, and their generals, since they overwhelmed her, and she had no choice but to retreat. Adrian, Luca, Alia, and Alix feel the same way, with them blaming themselves for people they know getting captured. And to make matters worse, nobody has seen or heard from Shadow or Omega in the last 6 months, not even Rouge. Shadow is believed to have become a traitor and has become a priority target for Gun. However, Gun can only do so much since majority of its forces were wiped out by the power of Eggman, Monarch, Infinite, and their generals. Kagami, Felix and Felix's mom Amelie have also been missing ever since both Eggman and Monarch took over, with no one having seen them. Things may seem grim now, but a new recruit is about to join the Resistance and change the tide of the war. We then cut to Resistance HQ, which is located in Paris, where Marinette's old school used to be, with it being destroyed by Hoaxer, Miracle Queen. Chaos and Monarch, however, since its destruction, the Resistance managed to rebuild and make it their HQ. Vector enters the conference where the rest of the Chaotix crew, Ladybug, Cat Noir, Amy, Silver, Bunny X, Viperian, and Rena Rouge are waiting for him. Vector says to the group,
Eggman and Monarch's army is unstoppable.
Without Sonic, the people are losing hope and giving into despair.
Despair is a luxury we don't have.
Silver's right. We can't give in to despair, especially after everything we've sacrificed.
Amy, with tears in her eyes, speaks up with her, saying,
Sonic, I wish I was there to help you. I wish you were still here with us. You can't blame yourself, Amy. No one saw Eggman and Monarch's attack coming, and no one has been able to take down that thing. But either way, we've got to face the facts. Sonic is gone. Shadow has become the enemy. And Tails has just lost it. If we're going to win, we're going to have to do it without them. Silver's right, Amy. As much as it pains me to say this, we're going to have to fight without them. That's what Sonic would want.
Tears begin to roll down Ladybug's cheeks, and she begins to cry. Cat Noir comforts her with him, saying,
It's not your fault, m'lady. And I guarantee you, if Sonic were still here, he'd tell you the same thing.
Cat Noir wipes the tears from Ladybug's eyes, and Ladybug smiles and hugs Cat Noir with her, saying,
Thanks, kitty.
Rena Rouge interrupts with her, saying,
I hate to ruin the moment, but we still need to plan out our next attack on both Eggman and Monarch's forces. Rena Rouge is right. We've been fighting for over a year now. Gun is at its weakest point, and our friends and family have been captured and are currently being tortured as we speak. Both Eggman and Monarch still have control over the entire world. However, we can't give up. We still need to make a power move. This way we can take the world back from the two of them. Eggman and Monarch's army has everyone terrified.
We want the people to rally. We have to show them that strength doesn't just come from numbers.
Not everyone is terrified. Isn't a new recruit joining us today?
Yes, a survivor from Empire City, right? I'll access the files now.
Bunny X then speaks up with her, saying,
Are there any signs of the Chaos Emeralds? Still no signs of the Chaos Emeralds, unfortunately. Those will be pretty useful right about now. We've looked high and low across the entire planet, but we can't find them. It's like they vanished without a trace. We've tried seeing if Cream, Cheese, or Chocola or any other chow would be able to find them. However, unfortunately, we found nothing. The last time someone has seen them is when Sonic...
Everyone goes silent for a minute, reflecting on how Eggman and Monarch's new weapon was even a match for the likes of Supersonic, filling them with grief and dread. Silver speaks up with him, saying,
Anyways, the good news is that both Eggman and Monarch don't have them. If they did, they surely would have used them against us by now. But the power they're using, it's different. But for right now, we'll have to push on without the Chaos Emeralds. Why don't we use the Master Emerald? Out of the question, Knuckles has it on total lockdown, hidden somewhere in the city. He secured his location the moment we heard Sonic was...
Amy gets teary-eyed, but shakes it off and continues.
Anyway, let me bring up that file now.
Everyone turns their attention to the main monitor as Amy brings up the new recruit's file as Knuckles walks in.
Knuckles, what's the sit rep, Commander?
Happy to see you're all still alive.
We're all happy to see you alive too, Knuckles.
Knuckles smiles and continues.
Eggman and Monarch's forces have shoot through our defenses at Green Hill and Westopolis, and the resistance in the city has reported that whatever it is that finished Sonic...
Knuckles sees everyone sad and apologizes.
Sorry, I'm still not used to saying that. But whatever that thing is, it has people running away in fear.
All except for this brave kid who survived the battle and made it here in one piece. Meet our newest recruit.
Hey, I'm Gadget. Catch the wolf.
Doesn't look like much.
Hey, well neither do you, Charmy, yet you're still helpful.
Charmy chuckles while Knuckles' hands gadget a few pieces of equipment, a wisp-on, and a grappling hook.
Here, take these, kid. You're gonna need them. What weapon is this? It's a Wispin, and they're powered by creatures called Wisp. Although majority of the Wisp went back home after we freed them, some decided to stay and help out.
Knuckles then turns his attention towards the others in the room and says,
Okay, let's get going on our next mission. After all, the world isn't gonna save itself.
Everyone nods their heads and heads out. Meanwhile, we cut to Emerald Town S.
That should have done it. I'm sorry I wasn't able to fix you, Omega. I've been pretty useless lately and haven't been able to help anyone.
Tails takes a seat next to the busted-down Omega to rest. And after looking around, he would notice a statue of Sonic, which was built shortly after Sonic's defeat and was made in Sonic's honor to commemorate the world's fallen hero. Tails walks over to it and sees several flowers, gifts, thank you notes, and other tokens of appreciation to their hero left at the bottom of the statue. On the base is an inscription saying, "In loving memory of Sonic the Hedgehog, the fastest thing alive, righter of wrongs, eater of chili dogs and hero of the world, here's to hoping you're still out there somewhere. The world needs you now more than ever."
Sonic, I'm sorry. I'm sorry we weren't able to get past the ecomatized villains to help you. I'm sorry I wasn't much of a help to you during your last battle. I'm sorry, Sonic.
Tails begins to tear up but is interrupted when Chaos appears from a manhole and prepares to attack Tails.
Whoa, Chaos!
Tails gets up into a battle stance but then get flashbacks to Sonic's defeat and freezes up. He quickly lets his guard down, allowing Chaos to throw him into wall, causing Tails to fall on the ground. Tails begins backing away before cowering in fear.
Sonic, help me!
Chaos attempts to attack Tails again when all of a sudden a portal appears in the sky from which classic Sonic appears, curls into a ball and attacks Chaos, sending him flying into a building before landing in front of Tails. Tails opens his eyes and looks at his savior.
Sonic, you're alive!
Tails goes to hug his long-lost friend but realizes it's not his Sonic.
Wait, what? Tails, is that you, little buddy? You look taller.
Oh, you're that Sonic from the past. Remember when you met your future self, me and the miraculous holders, and we all took down the time eater together?
Oh yeah, I remember. Have you been, buddy? Say, where's the older me at?
Tails gets sad and says,
Well, look out!
Chaos reforms and prepares to attack both Tails and Classic Sonic, until he's thrown back by a beam of energy, shocking both Tails and Classic Sonic, and as Chaos attempts to get back up, he's thrown back by a water dragon from Ryuko, as both she and Argos reveals themselves, shocking Tails, who gets in a defensive stance with him, saying,
What are you up to, Felix?
However, Felix puts his hands up, showing that he doesn't want to fight with Ryuko, telling both Tails and Classic Sonic,
Listen, I know Felix took the miraculouses from Marinette, but he did it for a good reason. Wait, how did you...
Before Tails can finish, Chaos gets up, now pissed off, and grabs both Argos and Ryuko and throws them to the ground. However, as he goes to attack Classic Sonic, Classic Sonic would manage to dodge and spin dash into Chaos, followed up by a super peel, outthrowing Chaos down to the ground, allowing Classic Sonic to help both Argos and Ryuko up with him, asking the two,
You two okay? Yeah, we are.
However, as they're talking, Chaos gets back up and attempts to attack Classic Sonic. However, Ryuko would block the attack as Classic Sonic uses a drop dash, throwing Chaos back, allowing Felix to attack him. Chaos, however, would get back up and would grab Classic Sonic and throw him into Ryuko, and would attempt to throw them into a building. However, Ryuko would manage to block the attack, allowing Classic Sonic to use spin dash, throwing Chaos back, followed up by a drop dash, finishing off Chaos and causing him to disappear, much to the hero's shock, but they push it off to the side as Classic Sonic asks Ryuko,
You're that Kagami girl, right?
Yes, I am.
And your superhero name is Argos, right?
Yes, but my real name is Felix.
Tails then interrupts the conversation with him asking Ryuko,
Kagami, why are you working with Felix? And what do you mean Felix took the miraculouses for a good reason? He took the miraculouses so he could be set free. And he's also trying to set Adrian free.
Felix's mother Amelie steps out, shocking Tails and Classic Sonic, with Tails asking,
What do you mean he took them so he could be free? Let us explain.
Argos and Ryuko show both Tails and Classic Sonic the same thing they showed to Marinette in the original Miraculous show, with them revealing that the two of them plus Adrian are Sentimonsters, much to Tails' and Classic Sonic's shock. Tails quickly puts the pieces of the puzzle together with him saying,
You gave the miraculouses to both Eggman and Monarch, this way you can get a miraculous and set yourself free, right? Yes, and I also have the object I was made from. However, unfortunately, Kagami and Adrian don't. He's right. My mother has the object I was made from, and Adrian's father has the object he was made from. Wait, hold on. If your mother is working with Eggman and has the object you're made from, then where's Adrian's father? Unfortunately, he's also working with Eggman, and is his partner. Wait, the only way he could be his partner is if...
Tails stops as it dawns on him that Gabriel aggressed his monarch with him, saying,
As if Gabriel aggressed his monarch. He is, and he's being manipulated by him.
What do you mean?
Ever since Gabriel teamed up with Eggman, Eggman has been waiting for the right time to betray him, as he never saw Gabriel as a true ally. All he saw Gabriel as was a tool to further his own goals, and he's been planning to betray him for a while now, and take the miraculouses for himself. How do you know all of this? We managed to raid an Eggman base outside the city, and we found all this in recording, with Eggman explaining how he's planning to betray Gabriel.
Why am I not surprised?
I know, although Eggman is a genius, he can definitely be short-sighted.
The group then turned their attention back towards Classic Sonic with Tails asking him,
How did you get here?
Classic Sonic explains what happened, telling them about the events of Sonic Mania, and explaining how he got teleported by the Phantom Ruby. Tails quickly realizes what time period Classic Sonic came from and says,
If you got teleported by the Phantom Ruby, that means you're dealing with the hardboiled heavies, right?
Yeah, those hard-boiled jerks stuck up the Phantom Ruby on Angel Island, and all of a sudden we were teleporting in Green Hill, and the hard-boiled jerks changed.
Yeah, reality was altered.
Argos and Ryuko quickly realize that what they're describing sounds very similar to the jewel that Infinite uses, but they push it off to the side for now. However, as the group discusses the next course of action, they notice an army of badniks heading their way, forcing them to leave the city so they can plan their next move. We then get a flashback from a few months ago. The Resistance troopers are fighting against Infinite, but to no avail. None of their shots seem to affect him as he gazes down at them with amusement as they keep blasting in futility.
There is no reason to resist. Simply is no.
Infinite unleashes a beam of energy and quickly defeats the troopers as he sweeps it across their line of defense. The troopers scream as they are annihilated. Gadget is seen scared, hiding behind some rubble, when a Wispon lands near him. Gadget grabs it and attempts to shoot, but trembles in fear and is too scared to get a steady shot.
I can taste your fear, child. All that anxiety and doubt. Don't worry. It'll all be over soon.
Infinite fires a shot that lands in front of Gadget's feet, causing him to fall to the ground, dropping his Wispon. Infinite laughs evilly as Gadget looks on in fear, with him barely being able to stand as he is paralyzed by fear. But he manages to run away as Infinite laughs and says,
Fight. Run. It doesn't matter what you do, since he will be here very soon.
The flashback ends as Gadget focuses his attention on the screen as Knuckles and Amy explains the next mission, which is to sneak into one of Eggman and Monarch's bases, which is in Frontier Canyon, and grab a shuttle for a rescue mission. With them planning to break out everyone being held captive on the Death Egg, Gadget begins causing a distraction while the others go for a shuttle. Espio on a communicator then says to everyone,
Espio here. My team's engaging the enemy in the orbital tunnel. I think we can hold them off for now. No, wait! Watch out! The masked one is here. The monster that took down Sonic.
Stay focused, rookie! We're off to find a shuttle!
Guys, I'm not sure if I can do this. Don't doubt yourself. That's what Eggman and Monarch want. She's right. Besides, we're here to help you.
Gadget turns around and sees Ladybug and Rena Rouge following him and smiles as they continue to cause a distraction while Espio and his team fights off the enemy, allowing the others to grab a shuttle, as Knuckles says.
Good work, guys, but you need to get out of there the second everyone's on board. We're on our way, Knuckles.
The trio continue to run until they arrive at the shuttle. Once everyone is on board, the shuttle takes off for the Death Egg to free all the captured prisoners.
Okay, our spy says that the prisoners are being held in the orbital tunnel. Listen up, Rookie. You'll take Ladybug and Rena Rouge with you, and you'll find the prisoners and bust them out while we go meet up with Rouge. Got it? You can count on us, Knuckles.
The trio take off to Prison Hall as Rouge contacts the group.
Does anybody read me? We read you, Rouge. What's up? The prisoners are being held in some kind of internment facility. Security's tight, so stay on your toes. We will, Rouge. Wait, that's not all the intel I have. I also have intel that...
Rouge is cut off as the trio begin to head off to free the prisoners. Meanwhile, we cut to Eggmoth Land as we see both Eggman and Monarch in the middle of a meeting with Miracle Queen, Hoaxer, and Ikari Gozen. The meeting is about their next move against the Resistance, with Eggman and Monarch explaining.
I've managed to discover where the Resistance base is, and I'm planning on sending a squad of badniks to deal with them. However,
I'm going to need a general to lead it. So who here wants to lead the attack?
Miracle Queen steps up with her saying,
I'll lead the attack. Are you sure? Yes, after all, it has been quite a while since I last had a fight. Yes, but if you don't mind me, I'm going to have to pull the doctor aside for a moment. I need to have a conversation with him.
The generals nod their heads as Eggman and Monarch head into their main lab, with Monarch saying to Eggman,
Doctor, has there been any progress on finding Adrian? Unfortunately, no. We've searched the entire planet, but haven't been able to find him. The only place he could be at this very moment is Resistance HQ. Well, if he is there, you need to find him and get him out of there. And if he's not, you need to continue to search for him. Gabriel, you do realize there's a chance that he may no longer be alive. Don't say that!
that Monarch leaves the room pissed off with him saying,
I know he's still alive, and once I find him, I'll get the miraculouses from Ladybug and Cat Noir, and I'll revive my wife, his mother, and once we do that, we'll be a big happy family again, and no one will stop me.
However, unbeknownst to Gabriel, Eggman is listening to him through a security camera and would begin to laugh with him
Oh,
saying,
Gabriel, you naive fool. So desperate to save your wife that you don't even notice when you're about to be betrayed.
Eggman heads over to a keyboard and logins into the Eggnet and opens a specific file that only he can access, with the file's name being contingency plans. We see multiple contingency plans Eggman has just in case any of his allies betray him, since he knows any of his allies could betray him at any moment, with the two biggest ones being Infinite and Gabriel. Eggman opens Gabriel's file and opens a certain plan he's had in mind for a while, since he knows at some point or another Gabriel will more than likely try to betray him, since he's growing more and more desperate to bring his wife back, and since he has no idea where his son is, he's grown even more desperate and could potentially betray him and use the Eggman Empire in order to find his son and get the miraculous. However, Gabriel is also growing weaker because of the cataclysm he got from Cat Noir, meaning that he only has a certain amount of time left, and Eggman knows this, so after planning for a couple of months, Eggman has decided that he's going to have to get rid of Gabriel soon, since he's fully aware that Gabriel will try something potentially along with his allies, thus Eggman is ready to deal with him. Along with this, Eggman also opens up another file titled Backup Plans, and once open, Eggman scrolls through until he finds the two he's looking for, with those being the NEO Metal Sonic Project and the Metal Virus Project. Eggman has been working on these projects for months and will begin to test them soon. The reason why he's been working on these projects is because he knows there's always the possibility that the Resistance could beat him, thus he plans on using these projects to take world back under his control if he loses it. It becomes quickly obvious that although he owns the entire world now, Eggman hasn't just sat back and let his allies do all the work for him. Far from it. Eggman the entire time has had multiple schemes and projects in the works since he took over the world, with even more in development, showing that he means business. However, as Eggman logs out of his account, he all of a sudden hears footsteps and turns around and grins evilly as Hoaxer walks in with her saying,
And now, if you don't want Gabriel to find out about both your backup plans and contingency plans, I recommend you lock the door, Doctor.
True, I probably should. But has Gabriel caught on to the fact that I'm planning to betray him soon and have you as his replacement?
He has no idea, Doctor.
Good.
However, alarms start going off as both Orbot and Cubot tell Eggman and Hoaxer,
Boss, the Death Egg is currently being attacked.
What?
Yes, it's currently being attacked by the Resistance as we speak, boss.
Where's Infinite?
He's currently dealing with Resistance fighters at your base in Frontier Canyon.
Orbot and Cubot show the footage to the duo, and they get
Tell
angry.
all the troops in the Death Egg to deal with the Resistance fighters, and for the base in Frontier Canyon, send in reinforcements.
You got it, boss.
Eggman and Hoaxer walk out of the room with Eggman saying,
Whatever happens on the Death Egg doesn't matter. I just hope they don't find him.
Well, even if they do, there'll still be no match for Infinite.
Don't underestimate him. I've underestimated him many times in the past, and I've been defeated by him because of it.
The two leave to meet up with the other leaders of the Eggman Empire. We then cut back to Prison Hall as we see Ladybug. Rena, Rouge, and Gadget arrive at the main prison hall of the Death Egg, with the three attempting to hack into the Death Egg system in order to free everyone. However, they don't notice someone standing behind them, and once they turn around, their eyes widen in horror as Zavok stands before them. Ladybug immediately throws her yo-yo at Zavok. However, Zavok catches it with ease and throws Ladybug into a wall. However, Rena Rouge quickly tricks Zavok by making illusions of herself and Gadget, with the two hitting Zavok in the face. However, Zavok quickly figures out which are the real Rena Rouge and Gadget and grabs them. However, Ladybug comes in and swipes Zavok off his feet, allowing Gadget to use his Wisp-On, throwing Zavok back, allowing the trio to get attacks. And however, Zavok gets back up and grabs Gadget and throws him into Rena Rouge as the two go flying into a prison cell, while Ladybug continues to fight Zavok but begins to struggle until Rena Rouge and Gadget emerge from the rubble of the prison cell with a smirk, with Rena Rouge saying,
I suggest you give up now, Zavok, and tell me why should I?
However, Zavok is cut off as he's thrown down to the ground, followed up by him getting kicked in the face, then spin dashed into the ground by a blue blur, revealing Sonic as he beats the crap out of Zavok, causing Zavok to fall to the ground. Ladybug begins to cry tears of joy at seeing her older brother figure alive. However, her face turns to shock, as does Rena Rouge and Gadget's, as they notice the scowl on Sonic's face as he stares down Zavok. Ladybug then speaks up with her saying, Sonic turns around and smiles as Ladybug runs up to Sonic, hugging him, crying. Rena Rouge and Gadget smile as Sonic calms Ladybug down and tells her,
It's alright. I'm alive. I'm okay. And I can tell you've grown a lot this past year, Marinette. I'm proud of you.
Ladybug smiles as she and the others attempt to break the other prisoners out. However, alarms begin to go off as Sonic says,
We're going to have to leave them and come back for them later.
Ladybug nods as she and the others head out as Sonic turns back to the prisoners.
I promise you we'll come back for you later. Just hold on.
The prisoners nod and tell Sonic to go as Badniks begin to enter the room. Sonic destroys some and heads out with the group as Badniks follow, but after a while they manage to lose the Badniks and arrive at the hangar where the rest of the resistance is waiting for them. And once the group make it on the shuttle, everyone on the shuttle looks shocked that Sonic is alive as Amy runs up to Sonic and hugs, crying tears of joy. Sonic smiles and hugs Amy as they head back to the Resistance HQ. Back at Resistance HQ, everyone begins to celebrate that Sonic is alive, with the Chaotix dogpiling him. Sonic chuckles and says,
come on, you guys. Sonic, hearing that you're alive is the best news we've had in months. Happy to see you guys still alive and kicking, but I've got to ask, what happened here? Because, I mean, I've been in a cell for the past year, so I might have missed some stuff.
The group then explained to Sonic what happened and explained how both Eggman and Monarch took over the world with their new weapon, which is more powerful than all of them combined. Sonic looks shocked as Viperon asks Sonic,
Did you find anything on your time on the Death Egg? Potentially any plans? Or did you find out any intel about Eggman and Monarch's new weapon? Not much. All I found out was that their new weapon is strong. It was someone able to take me down in super form. Then after getting knocked out, I woke up in a jail cell, and I was there for the past year.
However, as Sonic goes over what he knows, Ladybug speaks up with her saying,
Sonic, did Eggman and Monarch torture you on the Death Egg? Because the way you acted to Zavok is not the way you usually act towards villains. Besides, you have multiple bruises and marks on you.
Sonic flinches and says,
I'm fine. Let's just focus on the war right now.
Ladybug attempts to continue the conversation before Knuckles asks
Was
Sonic,
Zavok guarding the prisoners? Yeah, he was. However, once Ladybug, Rena Rouge, and Gadget came to break me out, we managed to defeat him, but he disappeared. He retreated? No, I mean, he literally disappeared. He faded away like nothing once we beat him. That is strange.
Before the conversation can continue, Espio speaks up, explaining how Eggman and Monarch have a factory in the remains of Green Hill that's pumping out munitions for their war effort. Bunnyx responds that they can't take out Eggman and Monarch's home base if they've got a factory. Knuckles agrees and assigns Sonic, Gadget, Ladybug, and Cat Noir to destroy the base. Alongside this, Knuckles also assigns the Chaotix to head to Spagonia to take back the area from Eggman and Monarch. The two groups nod their heads and prepare to leave for their respective missions. However, before Sonic's group heads off for the mission, both Ladybug and Cat Noir push Sonic off to the side to talk to him. Sonic, confused, would end up asking them,
be honest with us. Did Eggman and Monarch torture you on the Death Egg?
Sonic doesn't say anything and turns around but nods his head. It's pretty clear to both Ladybug and Cat Noir that Sonic has been scarred not only physically but mentally as well. Sonic then turns back to them and asks them,
How have you two handled your families getting captured?
Ladybug and Cat Noir don't say anything at first, but Ladybug speaks up with her saying,
We try to stay strong, but it's hard. You blame yourselves for your family getting captured, don't you? We do. We just feel like we could have done more, Sonic.
The two turn away, however Sonic puts a hand on their shoulders with him saying,
I know we've been through a lot, especially during this last year. However, if we can stop Gods, Zeddy, and Akumas, then we can stop that masked creep.
Ladybug and Cat Noir smile and hug Sonic, with Sonic hugging them back smiling. The three then meet up with Gadget and head off to Green Hill while the Chaotix head off to Spagonia. Meanwhile, we cut to the leaders of the Eggman Empire, as they discuss their next course of action. Ikari goes
We
and
need to
says,
take down the Resistance, and we need to do it now, especially since they've broken out Sonic from the Death Egg. She's right, Doctor. The attack that you've planned on Resistance HQ needs to be executed soon.
Don't worry. The attack is ready to go, and I've assigned the general who will be leading the attack.
Eggman points to Hoaxer and explains that Hoaxer will be leading the attack since her illusion powers will be able to trick the Resistance, allowing them to destroy their base and finish them off. However, as Eggman goes over the attack plans, Orbot runs into the room and informs the group that two squads have attacked separate areas. One squad has attacked the base at Green Hill Zone, while the other has attacked Spagonia. Eggman and the other get furious upon hearing this, and Eggman assigns certain troops to attack Spagonia, and also decides to send Monarch to help. Hoaxer attacked the Resistance's base. Monarch agrees, and both he and Hoaxer head off. Eggman then assigns Infinite to attack the forces who have just raided the Mystic Jungle lab. Infinite nods and flies to the Mystic Jungle. We then cut to Mystic Jungle, and we see Silver and Bunnyx leading the attack while at the same time trying to find both Tails and Ryuko. However, as they continue to attack the lab, Silver and Bunnyx's squad is all of a sudden thrown back knocked out. Silver and Bunnyx, confused, turn around to see who defeated their squad, only for their eyes to widen in horror as they lay eyes on Infinite. Infinite uses the Phantom Ruby to make Phantom Cubes appear, and a fight begins. Meanwhile, we cut to Team Chaotix arriving in Spagonia along with their squad, and they begin to fight off Eggman mechs. And after a while, they manage to take back majority of the area and contact both Knuckles and Amy to report their progress. However, as they're talking, Amy's voice catches the attention of someone with him, saying it's been a long time since he's last seen Amy. The Chaotix turn around and see Professor Pickle. The professor lets them in, and Amy asks the professor if he knows anything about the Phantom Ruby. The professor tells him,
Unfortunately, no. However, I might have some ancient writings about it. I'll have to check.
The Chaotix thank the professor and head out to meet their squad. However, before the Chaotix and their team can fully take back Spagonia, Zavok appears, easily taking down the Chaotix team. The Chaotix attempt to fight Zavok, however Zavok grabs them all and throws them into a building. Zavok then calls on backup as he turns his attention back towards the Chaotix, who manage to get back up and are ready for a fair fight. Zavok charges at them and the fight begins with Zavok punching Vector in face. While grabbing Charmy, Espio, who managed to dodge Zavok's attack, would use a ninja star, throwing Zavok back. Espio then throws a couple more ninja stars, however Zavok dodges them and punches Espio in the face, throwing him back. However, before Zavok can attack Espio again, Vector would manage to throw Zavok to the ground and would use his bubblegum, causing explosions, throwing Zavok into a building. Espio and Charmy managed to get back up and use ninja stars and stings respectively. Zavok, however, would grab the three and throw them into a building. However, the three would manage to get back up and would begin to overwhelm Zavok. This forces him to retreat. The Chaotix then turn to their team, who are getting back up.
Stay here and take back the rest of Spagonia. We'll handle Zavok.
Their team nods as the Chaotix chase after Zavok. Meanwhile, we cut to Green Hill Zone as we see Sonic, Ladybug, Cat Noir, and Gadget take back Green Hill Zone and destroy Eggman and Monarch's factory Arsenal Pyramid and free everyone who is being forced to work in the factory by both Eggman and Monarch. The group then heads back to Resistance HQ. However, once they arrive, they hear Amy talking to Silver and Bunnyx, with Bunnyx explaining.
Guys, it's him. That monster. Where are you two at? They're at the Mystic Jungle, Sonic.
Sonic, can you, Ladybug, and Cat Noir head over to the Mystic Jungle to help them? We're on it, Knuckles.
The trio heads off to the Mystic Jungle to help out both Silver and Bunnyx. However, unbeknownst to everyone at Resistance HQ, both Monarch and Hoaxer are waiting for Eggman to give them the go-ahead to attack Resistance HQ. And once Sonic, Ladybug, and Cat Noir leave, that's when Eggman says. And thus both Monarch and Hoaxer begin to attack Resistance HQ. Meanwhile, we cut to Mystic Jungle as we see both Silver and Bunnyx taking on Infinite. However, they're struggling as Infinite says to
This wasn't part of my agenda, but I'm always happy to crush some so-called heroes. It's a shame what's going to happen to this world. Does anyone but you believe your lies?
Infinite fights both Silver and Bunnyx and overwhelms them, throwing the two into a wall, causing them to fall to the ground as Infinite says
He
to
was
Silver.
right about you. You are a fiery one, and yet you're also so naive. No wonder he was able to trick you so easily.
Silver and Bunnyx struggle to get up as Silver asks Infinite.
What are you talking about?
Infinite laughs and turns to Bunnyx
I
and
almost
says,
forgot your future self met him, but even though you got more powerful in the future, you were still no match for him.
Silver and Bunnyx look confused as Infinite prepares another attack, only to be thrown back by a yo-yo as Sonic. Ladybug and Cat Noir arrive with Sonic saying to both Silver and Bunnyx,
Time to tag out, you two. We've got it from here.
Look who's back from the dead. The little blue savior.
And would you look at that? He brought the two leaders of Team Miraculous with him. But what's that I smell?
The three of you reek of fear. Glad to see I left an impression on the three of you. Especially you, Ladybug, considering the fact you had no choice but to retreat while I captured all those innocent civilians.
The three flinch as Infinite laughs. Sonic steps up, attempting to act confident as he asks
We don't know
Infinite,
anything about you, not even your name.
You may call me Infinite in the brief moments that remain to you.
And you really think I can't see through that pathetic act of confidence you're putting on right now? I know you fear me, especially from all the torture that happened on the Death Egg.
Sonic flinches, proving Infinite's point as Infinite laughs. Cat Noir then steps up and asks
Well, now that we're
Infinite,
getting to know each other, want to go ahead and go on that whole villain rant and tell us about your unstoppable power source?
The source of my power is none of your concern.
Well, whatever it is, it won't help you. She's right. Whatever you have, it won't matter. We'll still stop you.
The three run towards Infinite. However, Infinite just laughs
Go
and
ahead
says,
and try. In the end, you'll fall like all the rest.
Infinite unleashes a wave that negates gravity, causing Sonic, Ladybug, Cat Noir, Silver, and Bunyix to stumble around in weightlessness. Infinite then uses his powers to distort the world around them and send all of them into a state of virtual reality. The battle begins as the group of 5 charge at Infinite. Infinite, however, easily dodges and kicks them all to the ground. Infinite then summons Phantom Cubes and fires them at the group, which they manage to dodge. Infinite then uses the Phantom Ruby to make phantom copies of some akumatized villains and orders them to attack the heroes. The phantom copies attack the group and begin to overwhelm them until Silver grabs them all with his telekinesis and throws them at Infinite, who easily dodges them. Infinite then uses the Phantom Ruby to make a group of badniks appear surrounding the heroes. However, the heroes manage to destroy them, only for Infinite to kick them into the air and to throw them down to the ground. Infinite then says,
You only have more fight in you than I originally thought. Let's see how many seconds you last.
Sonic then asks
What is
Infinite,
this place? Yeah, where did you take us to, Infinite? This is the future. A future where you all fail. Silver, Buddynix, are we traveling through time? No, it's something. Look out!
Infinite throws the heroes into a wall, badly damaging them. Infinite then grabs both Sonic and Ladybug and throws them into the air and then kicks them down to the ground. Infinite then grabs both of them by the throat and
I
says
must
to them,
admit, the two of you have improved since the last time we met, but you're still no match for me.
Infinite then throws them to the ground and prepares to finish them off before Eggman contacts him.
Get back here now. The attack on Resistance HQ failed thanks to Monarch being injured by the Cataclysm. You'll have to deal with them later. Understood.
Infinite then turns back to the heroes and says,
Unfortunately, I must take my leave now, but I'm sure we'll see each other again real soon.
Infinite lets out an evil chuckle and flies away. Cat Noir, Silver, and Bunyix then help Sonic and Ladybug.
You two okay? Yeah, we're fine. Did you manage to find Tails and Raiko? No, we looked through the entirety of the Mystic Jungle, but we couldn't find them.
Sonic looks a bit discouraged, but Ladybug puts her hand on his shoulder
You
and
know
says,
we'll find them.
Sonic grins and fist bumps Ladybug, and they all head back to Resistance HQ. We then cut back to the Chaotix as we see them chasing after Zavok in the remains of the city of Chunnan. The trio quickly realize that they need to slow and weaken Zavok, thus they come up with a plan. Vector and Charmy will distract Zavok while SBO will use fireworks to slow him down. They put their plan into action with both Charmy and Vector distracting Zavok while SBO uses fireworks to slow him down, and after a while, Zavok is weakened enough to allow them to continue their fight right where they left off. SBO throws multiple ninja stars at him, while Vector uses his bubblegum and Charmy uses a bunch of stings on him. Zavok begins to get overwhelmed and attempts to escape, however SBO prevents him. Zavok, in a last-ditch effort, attempts to grab a piece of rubble and throw it at the trio. However, Vector catches it and throws it back at Zavok, throwing Zav down to the ground. Zavok then disappears. The Chaotix look both shocked and confused, realizing what Sonic said about Zavok disappearing is true. The Chaotix push it off to the side and manage to defeat the rest of the bad Nixon area and manage to take back Chunnan, while at the same time their team back at Spagonia managed to fully take it back. The Chaotix then meet back up with their team and contact both Knuckles and Amy and explain to them what happened.
So you managed to take back both Spagonia and Chunnan. Yes, and we also ran into Zavok. However, after we beat him, he disappeared like Sonic said. Something strange is definitely going on here. Well, either way, you three need to get back here now.
The trio nod and they head back to Resistance HQ. We then cut to classic Sonic, Tails, Ryuko, Argos and Amelie running through the remains of Sunset Hill, trying to find both Eggman and Monarch since they managed to figure out where both Eggman and Monarch were going to meet up to discuss their next move. Classic Sonic notices something off about Tails and
Hey, I
asks
hate to
him,
bring it up, but what happened to me? You know, you ordered me.
I failed Sonic. My Sonic. Eggman and Monarch's new weapon ended up beating the crap out of him and killing him. And I just stood there when I could have done something.
Listen, little bro, you might be from the future, but I'm still your big bro, so take my advice. Don't beat yourself up about it. You made a mistake. Everybody makes them. Besides, we can still fix them, right?
He's right, Tails. You shouldn't beat yourself up about it. Besides, he's right. We still have time to fix things.
Tails looks shocked that Felix said that, but begins to get his confidence back and says to them,
We need to defeat both Eggman and Monarch. This way this war can be over. And once we find the secret to their power, maybe we can use that to send you home.
That's the spirit, little bro.
The group then heads off to find both Eggman and Monarch, and after a while they manage to find them discussing their next move with Infinite, Hoaxer, Miracle Queen, and Ikari Gozen.
Do we have any trace on the location of the Chaos Emeralds?
Unfortunately, we couldn't find them. But that doesn't matter now. With the power of the Phantom Ruby, we do not need them. That's for me and the Doctor to decide, Infinite.
He's right, but moving on to more important matters, the Resistance managed to take back Green Hill, Spagonia, and Shannon, and while at the base, Hoaxer and Monarch discovered that they're planning on taking back many more locations, with the next two being Sunset Heights and Soliana. Which that reminds me, Infinite, didn't you run into Sonic, Ladybug, and Cat Noir on your mission at Mystic Jungle?
Yes, but they were powerless against me. There is no reason for concern.
So you finished the three of them off, right? And got the Miraculouses for Monarch.
No, but...
You let them live?
I didn't get the Miraculouses?
That is a great source of concern!
Perhaps for all of you, they've beaten you many times. I defeated them in our first encounter. Besides, all of you have let them live before.
Eggman, Monarch, and the rest of the groups faces scowl and anger at Infinite as Eggman
Did you
tells
forget
them,
who you work for? You work for us, Infinite.
He's right, Infinite. If you don't stay in your place, there will be consequences later. There's no reason to get all agitated. After all, alive or not, Sonic, Ladybug, and Cat Noir are powerless against us. Besides, wouldn't the two of you want to finish them off?
I suppose.
Classic Sonic, Tails, Argos, Ryuko, and Amelie watch from behind a rock as Tails shocked
So the
would say,
object Infinite is using is the Phantom Ruby, but how did Eggman get his hands on it again?
It probably got transported with me here.
And Sonic is alive.
Infinite turns his head towards the group who hide before Infinite
What
can
is
see
it?
them.
Nothing. We move forward with the plan.
Of course! When it's complete, the resistance will be erased. The world will be nothing but ashes, from which a glorious Eggman Empire will rise.
And the resistance will be destroyed by the Phantom Ruby's power.
But defy orders again, and we will not be as merciful. Understand?
Infinite nods and flies away. Eggman and Monarch then turn to the rest of the group as
Hoaxer,
Eggman tells them,
head to Sunset Heights and make sure the Resistance doesn't take it back. Miracle Queen, Ikaria, head to Soliana and make sure they don't take that back either.
The trio nod and head off. However, once the group is gone, Classic Sonic stands up and reveals himself to both Eggman and Monarch despite Tails, Ryuko, Argos, and Amelie trying to stop him. Eggman and Monarch look shocked as they quickly realize
What are
who it is.
you doing here? Hey there, Robotnik. Did you and your sidekick miss me?
Classic Sonic hits the Egg Mobile before both Eggman and Monarch have a chance to react. The evil duo quickly regain their composure and glare at Classic Sonic as Eggman
We don't
tells
have time for this.
He's right. Why don't you run along, you small little blue pest?
Yeah, no.
Classic Sonic hits the Egg Mobile again, angering both Eggman and Monarch. Eggman then closes the glass dome and the evil duo fly away with Classic Sonic, Tails, Argos, and Ryuko following right behind them. Eggman and Monarch quickly realize they're being followed, thus they unleash a group of bad nicks, but their easily destroyed Eggman then brings out the same weapon he used in Part 9 to shoot down the tornado. However, the group managed to dodge all of its shots and Classic Sonic kicks the weapon out of Eggman's hands, then hits the Egg Mobile again. Monarch attempts to use the turtle Miraculous to protect them, however Argos creates a Centimonster that destroys the shield. and to make matters worse for the evil duo. Monarch is once again injured by the cataclysm, allowing classic Sonic to get another hit, causing the egg mobile to fall on the ground. However, much to the hero's confusion, the evil duo begin to laugh and then reveal the Egg Moth Dragon Mark II, shocking the heroes as the evil duo laugh. And once the egg mobile is inside the Egg Moth Dragon Mark II, the evil duo begins to fire multiple bullets, forcing the heroes to dodge. Tails manages to grab all of them and lifts them into the air and throws them into the machine, allowing classic Sonic, Argos, and Ryuko to get multiple attacks on the mech. However, the Egg Moth Dragon Mark II throws them down to the ground and attempts to stab them, but they manage to dodge. The Egg Moth Dragon Mark II then throws multiple pieces of rubble at the group, and while Argos and Ryuko dodge the rubble, classic Sonic jumps on the rubble and throws himself into the air, allowing him to get a powerful spin dash on the mech, badly damaging it. Ryuko then uses Water Dragon, damaging the mech more. Argos uses this opportunity to create a Sentimonster and use it to completely destroy the mech. The Sentimonster then throws the egg mobile to the ground, damaging it. The group then surrounds the egg mobile, as Tails says.
We did it!
Look at you, fighting like you've got a chance to win. It's adorable. Almost makes me feel bad that we're never going to do this little dance again.
I agree, Doctor. It's such a shame.
What are you talking about?
In just 3 short days, my plan will eliminate the bothersome lot of you.
Wait, 3 days? And what plan?
If we told you, it wouldn't be a surprise, now would it?
The two prepare to leave as Eggman says
You know what
to the
they
group.
say? The anticipation of the end is worse than the end itself. Maybe not in this case, though.
The evil duo laugh and fly away in the egg mobile.
What do we
Ryuko
do
then
now?
asks,
We need to find out what they're planning. Eggman and Monarch did mention something about a lap at the Mystic Jungle. Let's go check it out.
The group nods and head off, and on the way there, classic Sonic turns to
Nice
Tails and
work,
tells
little
him.
bro.
Tails smiles and nods as the group heads off to Mystic Jungle. We then cut back to Resistance HQ as we see Knuckles and Amy planning their next moves. And after a back-and-forth discussion, they assign Rena Rouge, Viperon, and Silver to head to Selena to take back the city and all its surrounding location. And they've also assigned both the Chaotix and Rouge to take back Route 99 and Water Palace, respectively. However, they're having trouble deciding who's going to head to Sunset Heights.
Who
to
can
take
we
the city
send to
back.
take back Sunset Heights? Sonic, Ladybug, and Cat Noir aren't options since they were hurt the most in the fight with Infinite, and they need time to heal.
Well, we've already engaged forces at Seaside Hill. We can't spare anyone.
Gadget, although nervous, steps up and says,
I'll do it. Looks like I've got no choice. Okay, Rookie, if you're up to it, I need you to head to Sunset Heights and to take back the city, and to rescue as many people as you possibly can.
Gadget, still nervous,
Roger.
responds. Sonic can tell that Gadget is nervous and puts a hand on
Hey,
his shoulder.
don't worry. You'll do great out there.
Gadget smiles and thanks Sonic, but before he can leave, Ladybug steps up
I'm
and tells
going
the
with
group.
Gadget.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Sonic's right, my lady. You still need time to heal. Don't worry. I'll be fine.
Knuckles, although hesitant, agrees to let Ladybug go on the mission. However, before Ladybug leaves with Gadget, Sonic pulls her
Okay,
aside
what's
and asks,
bothering you? What do you mean? Marinette, I can tell something's wrong. There has to be a reason why you randomly decided to join Gadget on his mission.
Ladybug doesn't respond. Sonic quickly realizes why she just joined
You're
and
going
asks
with
her.
Gadget because Sunset was where your family was captured, wasn't it?
Ladybug nods her head. Sonic then
You're
asks
going
her,
with Gadget to make sure no one else feels the pain that you currently feel since your family's captured. Am I right?
Ladybug nods her head again and
If I
says to
have to
Sonic,
risk my life to make sure no one else feels the pain that I feel right now, then I'm willing to, Sonic. Besides, I need to be a strong leader for Team Miraculous.
Sonic smiles and
You've
tells
grown a lot since we first met, Marinette, but you do realize that you don't have to carry every burden by yourself just because you're the guardian of the Miraculouses and leader of Team Miraculous. The entirety of the team cares for you, Marinette, as do the Kwamis. Besides, you know we'll get your family back, and we'll take down both Baldy McNosehair and Loser Moth.
Ladybug smiles and
Thank you,
hugs Sonic.
Sonic, for everything.
Sonic smiles and wishes her good luck on her mission. Ladybug then meets up with Gadget and the two head off to Sunset Heights. We then cut to Gabriel as we see him talking with Natalie. Gabriel
I
tells
plan on
Natalie,
betraying the doctor soon. Are you sure that's a good idea, Gabriel?
It is, Natalie. Adrian's been missing for months, and I feel like the doctor's lying to me with him saying he's trying hard. To me, he isn't. Besides, he won't even tell me where Emily's being held at, Natalie. I have no choice but to betray Eggman in order to get my family back.
You do have another option, Gabriel.
What's that, Natalie?
Give up being monarch and turn yourself into the resistance.
Why would I ever do that now? To give this up, Gabriel, and to find Adrian!
Gabriel looks shocked that Natalie yelled at him. Natalie
This
continues.
isn't right, Gabriel. Working with Eggman and Infinite and ruling over the entire world, while also holding people captive and torturing them on the death egg, you know Emily would never want this, Gabriel. And you and I both know if she saw what you've become, she'd be terrified. Remember the words Shadow told you before he was sent to null space by Infinite?
Gabriel pauses and thinks about
I know
Shadow's
what it's
words.
like to lose someone you love, someone you care about. Believe me, I do. But you need to stop. I know your wife wouldn't want you to do this, Mr. Crest, and I know that you know that. Please, there's still time to make this right.
Gabriel then tells
I've thought about
Natalie.
Shadow's words for months, Natalie. And I've thought about giving this up for months as well. However, I feel like it's too late, Natalie. It's not, Gabriel. You can just turn yourself in, face whatever consequences they have for you, then you can be reunited with your family. You know the Chaos Emeralds can revive people. Look at what happened to Sonic. He was killed by Mephiles, but yet was resurrected with both Ladybug's guardian powers and the Chaos Emeralds. They can help you, Gabriel. There's still time.
Gabriel pauses and thinks for a bit before saying to
Perhaps I
Natalie.
can, but we'll have to see what happens.
Gabriel leaves as Natalie sighs. However, Infinite reveals himself, shocking Natalie
You're
as he says to
right.
her.
Gabriel can just turn himself in, face whatever consequences they give him, and be reunited with his family. However, we still need him for something.
Infinite prepares to use the Phantom Ruby as Natalie watches in horror. And that's where we're going to end this What If for right now.
So what did you guys think? Did you expect Supersonic to get taken down by Infinite? Who do you think this mysterious he is that Infinite keeps referring to? Or did you expect the Chaotix to chase after Zavok? Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. Make sure you guys go ahead, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Comment down below what you are of the AI and if you want me to use it in future videos. I probably won't, but just leave your thoughts in the comments down below. What do you guys think of it? And I'll see you all in the next one.